While you were rescuing Varnus, I marched our advance force east. Walks and Ash was able to ascertain that no soul flayers were lying in wait, so we moved carefully and made camp here, in the shadow of Mor Naril. I fear this may be as far as we go. Our scouts mapped a path through the outer temple, but the worm cult blocked every approach to the inner precincts with soul flayers. If we storm Mor Naril, we'll fall as soon as we enter the death fields. And the Wraith Forge will claim our souls. We must find a counter to the soul flayers, a way around them, a defense, anything. Walks hasn't figured out how to foil the death magic, so she sent Razumdar to study the situation. Join him in the outer temple. See if a solution presents itself. Walks and Ash sent Razumdar into the outer temple to the south. I'll call for the rest of our forces. Then we'll hold our position until you and he find a way to bypass or overcome Mor Naril's defenses. Be swift, my friend. We must stop Manamarco.
Archmagister Vanus. After Gabrielle, I believe this belongs to you.
My staff. Thank you for looking after it, Walks and Ash. My mystery.
I meant to pay this custom of yours a compliment. A votive of stonework shows dedication.
Greetings, Five Claw. Raz is happy to see a familiar face in this bleak ruin. Raz presumes Prince Azaz sent you? This one is grateful for the assistance. These damnable soul flayers are like glass bottles full of kindle pitch. Your first misstep around them will be your last. Not yet. When someone wanders too close, they release a pulse of necrotic energy, killing the body and harvesting the soul. Ugh. Still, Raz noticed something odd. Smoke in the western part of the ruins. A camp, he thinks. Who else but the worm cult would be in this place? Perhaps the cultists are not quite finished setting up their defenses. Or maybe they are guarding something there. Either way, it calls for a closer look. What do you think, Five Claw? Here, this one will mark the spot on your map. Look for the smoke when we get close, yes? Raz is grateful for your company, Five Claw. Cultists and Daedra patrol these ruins. It is unwise to travel alone. The heaviest concentration of the flayers is within the inner precinct, or up on the walls. Stay alert, and you can spot them before you get too close. But we must be careful. Some flayers are hidden among the ruins, or positioned around corners. Raz learned the hard way. First, a chill runs along the back of your neck. Then a horrible, racking pain ripples through your body. If you are quick, you can retreat before the flayer rips out your soul. So far, Raz has been quick. You rescued Vanus? Nice work! Prince Azad discovered this one's usefulness as a scout and spy. While you were busy, Raz occupied himself with searching this side of the island for worm cult activity. There are low-ranking worm cultists everywhere, but few leaders or major outposts besides Gristmong Hold. Raz thinks most of the important cultists have withdrawn behind Mor Naril's walls. They are counting on their soul flayers to defend them. A letter? What does it say? A flaw in their defenses? We need to find this flaw. How did that deer get past the death field? And what killed this cultist? Check the body carefully. Another letter? Does it explain what happened here? The only soul flare Raz sees is above us, beyond the crack in the wall. Did this cultist walk into the death field and tumble down here? Yet if the device worked well enough to kill her, how did the deer pass by unscathed? Raz knows that statues are not always just statues, and that one does not look like it belongs here. But a stone nest warrior made of stone next to a crack in the wall of an old Daedric ruin? This one wonders. Look at this statue's pose, the rubble. Raz has heard rumors of walking statues on this island. This might be one. Perhaps the magic that gave it life lingers, interfering with the soul flare. There must be a way we can use this. Raz remains unsure. The deer survived, yes. The cultist did not. The statue's protection may be limited in range or unreliable. And unless there is a line of such statues leading into the temple, our forces cannot advance past this spot. Raz thinks so too. We need to learn more about this statue. Our Stone Nest allies must know something. It certainly appears to be one of theirs, yes? Return to camp and ask Jitra about it. Raz will follow soon, after a bit more scouting.
I can plainly see a question upon your tongue, mainlander. I prepared my villagers and Barjasa for interment in the stone, but it was clear they were incomplete, hollow. Damn the corpse stealers for taking their souls. But you did not come to hear me complain, did you? Speak your question. Stone Nest statue. Ah, the Vaskrona Colossals. My ancestors sent them against Mor Naril in the distant past. I thought nothing remained but the unliving stone. You remind me that this is not the first time we faced necrotic enemies who steal souls. Long ago, my people were called upon to battle a terrible evil in Mor Naril. They made the Vaskrona for that purpose. Down through the ages, evil has returned from time to time. Most recently, when the Corellanias came to plunder Mor Naril's secrets. You ask about old stories, tales for kin fresh out of the egg. I cannot say how many are true. This is a question for a wise elder. Luckily, I know one. Meet me in the caves at Basking Stone to the southwest. We will find Sonasa there. Sonasa has taken refuge in the hills to the southwest. The caves of Basking Stone have protected my people in the past, although it has been centuries since we needed them as we do now. Hopefully, the Elder will have the answers you seek.
Ah, mainlander. Jitra waits for you below.
Jitra told us to watch for you. You may pass.
Elder Sonasa, my ally has questions about the long vigil.
Those stories are not meant for outsiders, Jitra. But I have heard tales of this one. I will speak with the mainlander. You wish to hear of the long vigil? The legend says we did not come to Solstice by accident. Long ago, we were guided here. In exchange for our new home, we were entrusted with a sacred mission. To guard the world's soul against the final dark. These attacks by the Daedric realms are not new. It is said our ancestors armored their spirits in stone. They created the Vaskrana to resist death magic, so they could seal the forbidden vein and deprive it of souls. Indeed, they set the Colossals to watch over Mor Naril forever. The long vigil. Alas, the secret to awaken them is lost. We carved our memories in stone, but the obelisk of the long vigil crumbled centuries ago. All that remains are the legends. There are two sides to every story. Long after our ancestors first sealed Mor Naril, they had to fight off Corellania forays. Elven records of those troubled times reside in the library of the Sea and Sword Lodge. You could seek your answers there. It is ironic. The words we carved in stone and committed to our hearts are now lost to us. But Corellania scholars with ink and fragile parchment may have preserved something we did not. Look for the lodge in the mountains to the west. I do not think so. Many of our people have been killed, yes. But Basking Stone is not our only refuge. There are other places of safety, hidden throughout the stone of Eastern Solstice. Whole villages may have found shelter in them. Alas, no. Two elders carried the tale of the Vaskrana, and I knew them both. They died when the worm cult first occupied our land, victims of the senseless slaughter. We are lessened by their deaths, but we are not defeated yet.
I know someone at the Elven Library. I will meet you there, Mainlander. We will remind the corpse stealers that our vigil is not yet done.
Good hunting, Death Dancer. I will listen to the stone and see if more can be remembered.
Careful, Daedra. We must reach the library in the southern section of the complex. This tunnel was not here before. What have the Daedra done? There, down below. Tendencie the librarian. This way.
Stay back, Daedra. I will not warn you again. Oh, Jitra. What are you doing here?
We need your help. Go on, Maidenlander. Tell her what we seek.
I am glad to see Jitra alive after all the recent troubles. We have collaborated before, but it has been some time. And as I'm sure you noticed, the lodge is not safe. What brings you here? A dark and dangerous subject, I fear. We keep books of that sort hidden. You could search these shelves for years to no avail. We do not want to tempt anyone to repeat the mistakes of the past. What exactly do you hope to find? Ah, searching for solutions to our current predicament, no doubt. You may be onto something. It is true that the Stone Nest repelled the first Corellania expedition to Eastern Solstice. But do any of their ancient colossals remain intact? Very well. Allowing outsiders to have a look at the restricted parts of our collection is rather against the rules. But under these circumstances, I think it would be warranted. One moment. I need to refer to our catalogue. Yes, these may be of help to you. There. I summoned the volumes that should contain the information you seek.
The old Corellanias tried to claim Mor Naril, but my ancestors used the Vaskrona to stop them. Kinlord Orlamar took the eyes from the sacred statues and displayed them at his manor. The brazen thief. Strange to see my people's legends confirmed in these ancient Corellanian writings. But I am not sure how it helps us make use of the Vaskrona colossals. I thought that phrase was unusual. I assumed it was some sort of metaphor. You suggest that the ancient Vaskrona once had literal eyes. The dormant colossals at Mor Naril have empty sockets, but no eyes. So, you could be onto something. The Stone Nest people remember Kinlord Orlamar as a difficult neighbor. Under his reign, Sunport expanded into Eastern Solstice. I am not surprised he hoarded our sacred relics in the vaults beneath Vaidenhill. They may still be there. By a lake to the north. Here. Vaidenhill is a ruin now, but there are stories about treasures hidden below the old house. And deadly traps. Let us hope only some of those tales are true. I will meet you there.
Good hunting to all of you. Hopefully you can put a stop to all this chaos.
I think this is the vault. Now how do we open it? Interesting. These symbols correspond with the figures the ghost was looking at. It is working. Try another pedestal. That's it. The ward protecting the door is gone. Look around. If the eyes of the Colossal are here, we must find them. How like the Corellanias of old. They had no use for a thing, yet they kept it anyway. Look for a display, perhaps. You found the eyes? Good. May I see them? Interesting. To hold in my hands a legend out of time. Take the eyes of the Colossal to the Fellowship camp. I will go to Basking Stone Refuge and summon Elder Tsonasa. We will need him for what comes next. How should I know? I am not an elder. Waking a Vos Krona could be the easy part. What if they cannot tell the difference between the Corpse Stealers and the Stirk Fellowship? You are all strangers to them. Tsonasa can help us with that. I hope. Old stories can be long in the recalling. Elder Tsonasa has had some time to think, to listen to the stone. If we put these eyes in his hands, I believe the answer we need will come to him. I will see you at the camp.
Comrade, a Stone Nest Elder waits to speak with you.
Chitra told me of your adventures in retrieving the eyes of the Colossal. But I am even more impressed by this alliance you have built. My days as a warrior are long past, but I will help if I can. Do you have the sacred eyes? These are the eyes. Our tales speak of the Voskrona Colossals and their eyes, but no one knew exactly what our ancestors meant. These crystals are a promise, a sign that the long vigil was not in vain. You found documents as well? Let me see. As I thought, if there is a ritual, it was lost to time, yet that does not mean you have failed. We may not remember the ritual, but the stone does not forget. I can speak to a Colossal, remind it of its purpose. By itself, no. But with the secret eyes you've brought me, we can take control of a Voskrona Colossal. Guide it. If you go into Mor Naril, you can do so with a powerful ally at your command. Speak with your fellows. I must prepare.
Come, comrade. Let us discuss what you have learned. Razumdar showed me the Argonian statues in the outskirts of Mor Naril. They tell a tale of ancient battle, and hint at a weakness in the worm cult's defenses. Did I hear Elder Tsonasa say we can bring one to life? The ancient Argonians who made those statues came up with a simple answer to the problem of foes armed with death magic. Stone warriors have no lives that can be stolen. There must be a way to use this to our advantage. Or march right up to the flayers and smash them. The worm cult would never expect it. Now, how best to spring the surprise? I have it. Your Colossal shall clear the path for our soldiers. This is how we storm Manamarco's lair. No one alive can get close enough to destroy the Soul Flayers. But a giant walking statue, that is another matter. I knew I could count on you to find a way to defeat the worm cult's defenses. I am in your debt, my friend. Here,